Good morning. Happy Monday. I hope all of you, all of us, are off to a good start of the week. Hopefully, had a really productive weekend. Certainly seemed to be a beautiful fall weekend across the country. I wanted to talk about home affordability today. And we definitely have an affordability, I don't know if I use the word crisis, but affordability, let's call it crisis for housing in America. It's starting to get very expensive to buy a house. And it's unfortunately starting to get out of the reach of some Americans. And, I think homeownership is one of the basic tenets of the American dream, and it's definitely the main driver of wealth in America. And, I'm pretty passionate, believe, like most of you, we got to find solutions. Now, there's going to be some natural solutions to affordability. It could be that home prices soften. I don't think that's going to be the case because I don't think we're going to solve the supply issue anytime soon. And so I don't think our solution for affordability is, really beefing up supply and seeing prices drop. I don't think that's going to happen. And I also don't think that interest rates are going to dramatically fall quickly. I think they're going to stay pretty sticky at these elevated levels. Getting back down to the low sixes and next year into the high fives, but that's probably not going to solve affordability either. But there is good news because what will solve affordability is rising incomes. Wages are rising. As a matter of fact, wages are rising at some of their at the fastest levels we've seen in decades for the lower 20 percentile of workers, and that's good, and that's really good. And so as wages increase, it improves affordability. And how I like to think of it, and how I want you to think of it, is affordability is at its worst for most people the first day they own their home. And every day after that, the house becomes more affordable. Because every day after the day they buy it, their wages should increase over time, which makes their payment more affordable. And that's how we have to look at affordability. We have to really be, I think, purveyors of positivity and optimism. We have a super strong economy, a really, really big engine, driving jobs, driving income, productivity is increasing, and that houses will become more affordable as wages increase. But what we need to do is get you into a house today so that you have the benefit of your rising wages while you have a fixed payment. Because it doesn't help if home prices rise and your wages rise, even if your wages rise slightly more than home prices rise. But what we want to do is stick the home value today and freeze it so then it gets more affordable with your income rising. But you know what I want to talk about on affordability? I came across the Wall Street Journal, Realtor.com housing market ranking for the fall, and it talks about where are the most affordable places to live in the United States. And many of us work in high-cost areas. The zip code adjacent to where I'm at right now, the average home price is well over $2 million. And that's an affordability issue. That a lot of people can't afford to live there, right? And there's all sorts of San Diego County, the average home price is over $1 million. It's a hard place to buy a starter home. It really is. And so what we can do though, and the good news is with a lot of people working from home, a lot of people being self-employed, a lot of people participating in the gig economy, a lot of people have easily transferable jobs, right? If you're a school teacher, you can really be a school teacher in almost anywhere, right? That we may want to introduce to our buyers and our borrowers who are trying to achieve the American dream of homeownership and may not be able to do it where they live, is suggest thinking about going to other communities that are more affordable. And so this Wall Street Journal, Realtor.com market ranking gives us insights on where that might be. And there's 4 components to the ranking, and I'm really only going to focus on 3 of them. The 4 components are what's the average cost of homes, what's the cost of living in that in that market, what's the strength of the economy, and then what's the risk of climate. What's the climate risk? Now, I'm not going to focus on the climate risk. We know Realtor.com is now coming with climate risk statistics, as is Zillow. But that is not a proven science yet, so I'm not going to speak to that. But we can speak to home prices, and we can speak to the cost of living, and we can speak to the strength of the economy, and we can start to see where there's some really affordable places to live in the United States. And if home ownership is a basic tenet to the American dream, and we want to help some of our clients achieve it, and they can't achieve it where they're at, we might want to socialize with them. We may want to move. And some of these places are just fantastic. They're really wonderful places. And I'm going to give you, I'm going to read some of the places off the list, and then I'm going to kind of give you some of the insight statistics. So, most affordable place to buy a home in the United States in the fall is Canton, Ohio. Canton, Ohio has about 400,000 residents. Its unemployment rate is 4.7, slightly higher than the national average. And the median home price is $259,000. I'm going to talk about Canton, and the number 2 is Akron a little bit later because I'm going to really dive into the numbers. But Akron, Ohio has 700,000 residents. Unemployment rate is 4.7. The average price of a home is $230,000. Milwaukee, Wisconsin, 1.5 million people live in Milwaukee. The unemployment rate is significantly low. It's 3.2%, well below the national average of 4.1%. And the average price of a home is $390,000. You can go through it so you can kind of see. Now, what I want to do, though, is break down how this affordability, what it means, all right? So here's the thing. And so if you look at, I put a link to this study in my notes below, and I did a LinkedIn post on it this morning where I kind of summarized the article and gave you a link to the article. If you just look at the top 20 most affordable places to live, right? On average, the cost of living is about 1.5% below the 200 metro average, right? And on average, the unemployment is slightly lower than the 200 metro average. And here's what's really surprising. You guys are going to find this really surprising. In the top 20, the most affordable houses, many of them, I don't know if it's all of them, have more amenities per capita than the 200 largest metro averages. As a matter of fact, in the top cities, in the top 20, they have 25% more amenities than the most expensive communities, right? And amenities are measured as the average number of stores per specific types, everyday splurge category like coffee, upscale stores, specialty grocery, home improvement, fitness, things like that. So they have kind of like this, amenities formula. You can look at the methodology to come up to it, but they say, some of these places have not only a really low cost of living, affordability, but really a high quality of life. Like, how great is that? How great is that? Now, the other thing is the communities in this top 20 affordable communities, by and large, have significantly shorter commutes. So the commute times are better, right? So the unemployment rate is 3.9% in the top 20 affordable houses versus 4.1, right? And so there's just a whole lot of positives, Now, what's interesting, in the top 20 affordable markets, wages are about 1.8% below the 200 metro average, right? So if you took the 200 most expensive cities, right, and then you took the 20 most affordable cities, wages only differ by 1.8%. That's nothing compared. I mean, buying $1 million house versus buying a $300,000 house, and if there's only 1.8% difference in wages, what that means is the person that has to buy $1 million house, if the wage is $100,000, and the person can buy a $300,000 house, and their wage is 98,200, I'd rather get the 98,200 versus the extra 1.8% with all that extra added expense. And by the way, it's not only house, it's cost of living, which is food, groceries, gas, all that stuff, right? It's significantly lower. And so while wages are slightly lower, and by the way, taxes are slightly higher in the top 20 affordable. They're 0.5% higher, your tax load in the most affordable cities. But the home prices are more than 21% less. Right? And then the cost of living is significantly less. And so these places become really, really affordable. Really affordable. So here's what I'm going to give you Canton. All right. I'm just going to give you here's something to think of too. So we talked about home affordability. Like you could achieve the American dream in Canton, Ohio, or in Akron, Ohio, or in Milwaukee. 20 of these cities are very affordable. Low cost of living, pretty good wages, lower unemployment, super strong economies, right? So let's look at Canton just as an example. Canton has 400,000 residents, right? It is the most affordable, metro in the United States. There's significant buyer demand right now, and home prices are actually climbing. They actually climbed over 10% last year to get to the median of 259,000, meaning a year ago they were 10% cheaper. The days on the market, and by the way, the 259,000 for September was $165,000 less than the national average. Significantly less, right? 30% less. Homes in Canton only spent 32 days on the market, which is 3 weeks less than the median average. The active inventory in Canton, Ohio is 51% lower than pre-pandemic, right? So, what is that telling you? If I was going to make my first investment property purchase, if I was to buy an SFR, this seems really attractive in Canton. The average price is $259,000. Homes are appreciating over 10% a year. There's a little bit of a lack of supply. They sell fast. That looks like a good market to go buy in, right? So some of these houses are the most affordable. And by the way, they're booming. They're booming. Some of these markets are most affordable are also the best to invest in as investors. But the point is, we have to solve affordability. That's what I'm trying to speak to today. Check out this article. Check out this study. Become conversational in it. Maybe trial balloon it with your clients that really want to own a home. Are they self-employed? Do they work from home? Are they in a transferable job? And is that the way for them to get in the market? They can go to some place like Canton or Akron or Milwaukee or any place. Most affordable houses are in the Midwest or in the Northeast. Can they go to one of those places? Can they build up equity? Can they build up their income and then come back to their dream location? And same thing, if it's time for you to spread into building your wealth through real estate by owning an investment property, is it that an opportunity to go to one of those markets and invest in one of those markets? Something to think about. I hope this gave you food for thought. I hope you enjoyed it. Check out the article. Good data. So good job, Wall Street Journal, Realtor.com. You can click on the link below. You can go to my LinkedIn. Hope you have a great Monday. I look forward to seeing you guys again tomorrow. Thanks. Bye.